Hello fellow adventurers and collectors, Filmaholic here. Today we're going to be doing something different in that this is going to be the start of my hopefully ongoing series about me teaching you about various things in terms of collecting, lighting, or what have you. So in today's episode we're going to be focused on lighting, and this is basically going to be the start of an ongoing project of mine in terms of trying to get you guys thinking about lighting and how you could light your scenes and your photographs, and basically showcase my methodology behind it. And for starters, we're going to be doing a basic rundown. We're not going to be doing anything too complex in this first part, so if you're familiar with photography or videography, this may not be the video for you. But in order to run, you must walk, so we got to start somewhere. And in today's episode, we're just going to be focusing on one light and basically how that can impact your photographs. So sit back, relax, and you don't necessarily have to watch the video, as I'm going to do my best to walk you through it so you can have it in the background or what have you. But yeah, so essentially, if you get one thing out of this series that I want to nail down, is that you don't need the best equipment out there. Does it help you? Yes, but at the end of the day, the most important tool you have is the one you have, essentially. So if you have a smartphone or a desk lamp or even the phone light on your phone and the basic DSLR or basic point-and-shoot camera, you can start. So don't let arbitrary obstacles get in the way of you actually creating, because at the end of the day, the main goal is to get you creating. You know, don't hold yourself back by some misguided attempt at trying to get the best equipment out there, because who knows, maybe you won't like this and you just wasted all that money, but that's beside the point. Anyways, so for this exercise, we're basically going to be using a Walmart desk lamp, and basically you don't necessarily need to use this exact one. I just so happen to have like 3 of these because they were on sale at Walmart for $5 a piece when the college kids were going into school. So I like these in particular because they have a built-in diffuser, and we're not going to go into that too much today, but basically that helps spread out the light. Now in this exercise, all you'll need is a lamp, your phone, and a figure, essentially. So we're going to be playing around with the positioning of the light, the distance of the light, and maybe a little bit of the camera position. But for right now, you're going to basically set up a little scene, or possibly even just a still of a character. You know, put him in whatever pose you may feel is perfect for you. But what I want you to do is essentially start moving the light around the face, push it back and push it forward, because as you'll see, the lighting will change depending on where it's coming from, the direction of the light. And in film, that kind of leads into the motive of the light. What is giving that light off? What is the emotion of the scene? Because depending on where that light is, it can give off a sinister look, it can give off a glamorous look, maybe even a Renaissance painting kind of a style. But basically, by moving that light in whatever position you may have, it changes the dynamic of the scene. So keep that in mind in terms of what you're photographing, what you're filming, and that will basically dictate how the viewer will depict that scene. So for example, here I typically, for my smart dolls, go for more glamorous shots and possibly more Renaissance, because I like to play with the shadows in terms of making sure that the detail isn't lost. Because unfortunately with the smart dolls, for better or worse, at least with the anime style ones, you can get lost. The details are easily lost because they're so soft. But the semi-real girls, since they have more pronounced features, it typically isn't as bad. But again, it all depends on what you're shooting, how you're shooting it, and what you're shooting it for. So yeah, essentially you're going to play around with the light. Pushing it back will basically give it a shotgun approach, where it's going to spread the light out even more and give you more coverage. But again, something I would advise against is putting direct light in front of the character, because it will flatten the face too much and you will lose a lot of detail. But maybe that's something you're going for, maybe that isn't. But typically I don't do that because, again, you lose a lot of detail. Now, In terms of multiple lights, we'll get into that in a different episode, but for right now, the exercise is to basically getting familiar with lighting and how that changes the scene. And the benefit of digital photography is that you can shoot as much as you want to your heart's content as long as you have memory. But what I want to also ingrain in you is take photographs as if they were actually on film. That teaches you not only restraint, but to also really slow down and take a look at what you're shooting, because at the end of the day, you can shoot 1,000 photos and only get one good shot. So if you're really practicing and kind of looking with your eye as to what you like, focusing, shifting the light around, finding that taste that you, or that style that you hit, you'll be better off in the long run, and the process will become easier as you go on. Another tip I can throw out there is look at your favorite photographer, look at your favorite movies, actually sit down and break down what about it do you like. Is it the lighting? Is it the framing? Is it the color scheme? All this will influence your style, and something that kind of I go off in terms of my creative aspect is that I like what I like, but then I pick and choose what I like and then use that to influence my photography. That way I am exposing myself to all this media. I can then turn it into something new with my own twist and my own take. So it's not so much stealing as it is being inspired. Or no, you know what? It is stealing, because at the end of the day, nothing is original in terms of art, but that's a whole nother ramble for another day. But yeah, again, essentially this first episode is to get you experimenting, get you thinking, and basically get you geared up for more complicated, more complex setups in the future. So feel free to watch this video again, or at whatever speed you would want, and get going. At the end of the day, nothing's going to stop you except you. So take that first step, take your figure out, take your little lamp or your flashlight, and do something with it. I hope this series is going to be motivating to those who may feel that just because they don't have the right tools, they can't start, but that's a lie we tell ourselves. So get going, get out there. I know you can do it. So with that said, I appreciate you guys checking this video out. If you feel so inclined, please like, comment, and or subscribe. I very much appreciate it. I will catch you all next time.